Hudson River for round two. Round two was pretty fun. Caught more fish than I expected to catch. Didn't really get any giant, so one of the goals today is to get a gosh darn giant, baby. But I don't know, I feel pretty good about today. We got ourselves another beautiful day here in October, and yeah, let's go see what happens.
All right, so we're starting off here at the same rocky point that I caught them pretty good at last time. Started throwing the spinner bait because that's what worked, but couldn't get bit on it and quickly switched it up to a little crankbait. This was something that I had thought about the night before and figured it would probably work.
Not fighting. Yeah, it's a bass. Just didn't really want to fight. Oh, now he woke up. He literally just sat there for the first, like, looked like a largie. Oh, that's a small one. Caught him in the belly. In your mouth. Not a giant, but not tiny. Weird spot to catch it at. It's like I snagged him. That one. A lot fatter than the ones I caught last week. Feels cold. And we're snagged. Made a real good cast, and of course I got snagged. Best cast I made yet. Should be prime bite window right now. Except they're here, it should be biting. Last a little bit of outgoing tide. Should be munching this ish. But I had one bite and I didn't even feel the bite. He just snagged him in the belly. So far. Oh, that's a bite. He smoked it. Oh yeah, that was sick. He smoked it. He said donk. Looked like a decent smallie, I'm thinking. That was cool. Really small hooks on this crankbait, so you will lose fish on it. You gotta be careful with them, play them slow. Looks like a decent one. Healthy one. On the sea bizzle. He's probably like 230, 240, just got how fat he is.
I knew the bite window was prime because it was that last little bit of outgoing tide. I knew something had to work on these fish, and obviously started getting a bite or two on the crankbait.
I thought that was a bite. I feel like one stopped it. That's one. Found us a little pot of smallies, I think. How big are you? Doesn't feel that big. Because he's not that big. Oh, there he goes. Nice little jump. See, that's what happens. It wasn't that big. Pound and a half, maybe two. Nice little pot of smallies eating the crank vizzle. There's one. He ate it right when I stopped it. It's kind of cool. Another smallie. He ate it right when I stopped it. When I picked back up, he was on. Coming right at me. That's good. Another decent one. That might be the biggest one yet. Come on, stay on. That's got a pretty good fish. Jesus, that's a good fish. Holy crap. Biggest smallmouth I think I've caught the Hudson yet. Man, he's strong. Bro, that's a good fish. Come on, stay on there. Just need to tire out. That's a good fish, man. It's a good fish. Ah, I gotcha. That's a decent one. That's a healthy fish. That's a 3 ounce. Yeah. 3.5. Nice. 352. 3.5 almost exactly. Biggest Hudson River bass I've caught yet. A little 3XD. Let that sucker go. Get bigger.
I noticed that at this particular time, these fish were sitting off more. They weren't right up close to the riprap like last time. I think this might have had something to do with the tide. They were just set up a little bit differently than the last time I'd caught them there. And these were smallmouth as opposed to largemouth. So obviously, you know, they sometimes act a little bit differently, but they were hitting that crankbait pretty good. So I just kept firing that around, trying to capitalize on this bite window that I had going.
I like it when they get hooked like that. He wasn't coming off. Crankbait was almost in his mouth. He wasn't missing it. That's a good fish. That's a good fish, I think. I feel like he was around something, but it feels pretty big. Feels pretty darn big, whatever it is. Stay on. Eh, it's not that big. Largy though. First large head of the day. Not that big, but not that small. Probably my second biggest of the day. They're choking sea bizzle. I love it. I love it. Long, he had the length, just no belly. That's why it's cool to fish different places, get out of your comfort zone, you know? You fish the same spot over and over, or the same lake, fishing the way you like to, the same way you always do. You're really not learning that much. Doing stuff like this, forcing yourself to try different baits and fish new bodies of water you never been to before, that's what really helps you grow as an angler, get better, get more confidence and stuff. Smoked it. Feels like a good one. As soon as I pick the crankbait back up too. They definitely want this thing. He crushed it. Not that big, but man, these fish love jumping. I couldn't even tell if that was a largie or a smallie. I think it was a largie, to be honest. He's strong. He didn't look that big, but he's strong. Give him that. It's a largie. I think he's bigger than last. 160, 170, because of how fat he is. Still fun, but not the size we're looking for if you want to catch a mega sack.
It was interesting. I caught mostly smallmouth, and then all of a sudden I caught a couple largemouth. So obviously both were kind of mixed in at this spot, and I definitely had a good bite window going. Most of this damage all happened in about an hour period, and then once the tide stopped moving, as expected, the bite shut off. So when you're fishing tidal water, I've seen this before where there's bite windows. You really got to capitalize on those times when they're feeding. If you're not in the right area, the right time, it can make or break your day. I mean, you can go from 0 to hero really quick on tidal water, and you can also, you know, not catch anything because you time it wrong. The bite windows are so key on these tidal fish. And once it shut off, I started bouncing around and trying some different stuff.
I saw him go over and eat it, or at least go up to it. Pretty cool. Smallmouth. Saw him on live. I could see him chasing the jig earlier, but they don't eat it. Figured I'd have to finesse him. Picked up a drop shot and got one.
I tried just about everything I could think of in this creek and really struggled to get bit on just about anything. There was one spot where I had smallmouth that I could see chasing my jig, and I was able to get one little one to bite on a drop shot out deep, but that was pretty much it in that creek. And at this point, I decided to go back out to the spot I caught him at this morning, and unfortunately the wind had just picked up too much. It was really annoying to fish, and I didn't get bit. I didn't really want to wait for the tide to get right again, and I didn't really want to run around. So I just decided to call it a day at this point. You know, I had a pretty good little flurry there in the morning and was pretty happy with the fish I caught and, you know, what I learned. So just decided to call it a day, and that's gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.